Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a little tuxedo cat. He's definitely the chaos child. Second. He's the youngest. He's just.
We like chaos.
Chaos.
Oh, yeah, you have interesting takes on chaos in this interview.
Is we rolling? All right.
Hey.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. This is going to be a new venture here at the Wells-Rapp Center for Mallet Percussion Research. My name is Dr. Andrew Veit, and welcome to Thank You or Forget You. Except we're not saying forget you, we're saying something else. You can fill in the blanks. And with us, ladies and gentlemen, we have percussion royalty, Valerie Naranjo. Welcome. Thank you. We just finished up with a nice, awesome recording session, and thank you for doing this. You said, I'm in the mode, let's do it, let's get it done.
Thank you so much for doing that. It was a pleasure.
Right. Well, just to get the concept of what this is not just a normal interview. One of my old teachers, Lee Stevens, who used to tell us that there's two different types of people in the world. Once you take a bow and the audience applauds to you, either you're the first one that says thank you, or you're the second type of person that says forget you, except don't say forget. So we're going to ask Valerie some questions, and we're going to find out what kind of person she is. And so we're going to ask you a couple little things about maybe the times you thought thank you to an audience member, or maybe like a bandmate on SNL. And there's times when you thought like, forget you. Now, in percussion, we've all been there. You finish. We'll cut that. That's fine. I'll cut that out. Okay. Yeah. So you are a PAS Hall of Famer.
I feel so fortunate.
Trailblazer for women in percussion. An absolute legend on Saturday Night Live for how long again?
31 years now.
Wow. That's crazy. And I want to hear a little bit of that story you told me earlier about how they were going to cancel the show, and then you saved it.
Oh, no.
Many
people saved the show, but I came in at a crucial time, and I'm very happy to have been here for so long.
That's crazy. But let's start at the beginning. You grew up in Colorado. Was little Valerie like a thank you type of kid, helping the band director clean up? Or were you kind of a forget you kid sneaking off to cut class or do something you weren't supposed to be doing?
Oh, I was a pretty naughty child, but I loved my band directors. My first two band directors, Charles Watts and Michael Cosby, were both jazz drummers. So I adored them. So in terms of my band directors...
That's lucky. That's lucky, yeah.
I was so fortunate because they gave me the McCormick book and said, okay, go. And being a naughty kid, I needed I had to have my hands tied up. So that was my first love was the snare drum.
No way.
And
yeah,
they were very, very kind. So how could I not thank them?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But still, you were telling me stories how you used to cut class the other day.
Oh, I cut class all.
There you go.
Shame on me.
We all were there.
Well, in junior high school, my mom used to get really angry at me because I would test my teachers. I had a beautiful teacher of Civil War history.
That was an actual class.
Yeah, that was
Civil War history. Okay.
The history of the Civil War. Mr. King. And sometimes I'm just like, oh, Mr. King, you're not on your game today. Mr. King, can I go to the bathroom? So, yeah, I gave my teachers a hard time.
Okay.
But I got good grades, so that,
There you go. As long as you can fall back.
Well, yeah, but there's musicians, there's two things about being a musician I've learned. And that is, how do you play? Of course. Mm-hmm. Can you read? Can you go under pressure? But the other thing is, how are you in the lounge or in the green room before the gig? Are you fun? Are you helpful? So
absolutely. I always just tell my students, never underestimate the power of the hang.
Yeah.
The hang is important. Hang is how you get gigs. No one wants to go on tour with someone they don't like.
Yeah. And I always feel if you're bringing the sunshine into the room's going to have sunshine.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
I don't always do that, but I always want to.
You spent a huge part of your life studying traditional music in West Africa.
Yes.
What was the most thank you moment of that experience? Like total gratitude, total, oh my goodness, all. And what was the biggest forget this moment that you could think of?
The thank you. Kakraba Lobi was the founding geo master of the first national dance company of Ghana. And I met him through a record that I bought in Central Harlem. So I wrote him, and he agreed to take me on as a student, but I knew that he had a penchant. He didn't want to waste time with people, and he had a penchant for telling people, oh, first lesson, you can go study with my brother.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's
I think I know where
kind of
this is
his way
going.
of dismissing me.
Yeah.
So when we met, he said, would you like to study in our traditional manner, or would you like to study like a foreigner? And of course I said, oh, traditional, of course, traditional. And he said, huh. He said, okay, bring a bottle of spirits, gin, whatever. I don't know what it was. I think it was gin. Okay, we're gonna
Like gin and tonic gin?
like gin and tonic gin,
Oh.
like a full bottle.
Nice.
And uncapped, not
Oh,
half empty.
no, yeah.
So I
No
said,
used
okay,
bottles.
first traditional thing we do, we pour 2 drops on each corner, 2 drops on each mallet, and then he fills 2 glasses. Glasses are about that big. And he was very kind to me. He only went that far. For himself, he was
A
almost
little
full.
bit more. Yeah.
And I said, ooh. And he said, okay. And he said, okay, do what I do. And he said a whole bunch of prayers. And then he drank the whole thing.
Just like that. Oh my goodness. This man
Now you.
must praise a lot. He must pray a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know, the traditional idea of spirits, that's where you get the spirits. It's because it connects traditionally with the spirit world.
I didn't know that.
So I'm like, I didn't know any of this though, but I'm like, I'm a lightweight. But I said, okay, you say hey, jump, I'll say how high. Said some prayers, looked at this glass, drank the whole thing. I was totally bombed.
First lesson.
Okay, now. He
Now.
played what's called pire, which is kind of like this. He gave me an easy one. Now you. Okay, and then he went. Now you. Well, not only was I not familiar with this at all, but I was so bummed.
You just
So I
drank a
said,
bottle of gin.
I'm done. I'm gonna go study with the brother. And he explained to me that we had just prayed to the ancestors. And I said, okay, I just prayed to the ancestors. And in my mind I said, you guys, you gotta help me, man. I really want to study with this man. You gotta give me a break. You gotta help me. You know what happened? I started playing. It was like I was watching my hand. Whoa.
Okay.
I could have just contained myself not to just freak out. And you know what Kakraba did?
Not reprovable.
Like, you got it.
Not
You
reprovable.
got it.
He was right there watching
That was
you,
my
too.
biggest thank you. Like, thank you, world. Thank you, guys.
That's a big thank you. Yeah.
My biggest forget you, I would like to say one that's forget me. Because I was studying with Kakraba probably 3 or 4 years later. And by that time we were very familiar with each other. And I wanted to study on a Saturday because, you know, you fly out there and you spend all the money and stuff. And he said, okay, we usually went from Monday to Friday and had the weekends off. But I convinced him to study on a Saturday. So I showed up on Saturday morning, and Kakraba's wife, Veit, was there, but he wasn't there. And I said, oh, well, where's Mr. Kakraba? She said, oh, you guys are supposed to study today. He doesn't usually do that on weekends. He went to have a beer with a friend. And I was like, oh, he forgot. Jeez.
Now he's contacting the ancestors. What he's doing. Yeah.
I'm like, jeez, man. Anyway, she said, oh, but I'll send one of the children to go get him.
Okay.
So he comes back. And I said some smart aleck kind of thing,
boy.
like, you know, people forgetting their, about people forgetting their commitments.
Yeah.
That entire lesson was his manner of showing me that my knowledge of this instrument was like a pimple on his arm.
Right. So he was flexing. He was
Very
like, okay.
subtle, but like, you don't know what you're doing at all. And you don't, you know, he never said anything, but just the way that he taught Like, you can't
Yeah.
do this. He'd play that. You can't do that. No words. But then I said, oh, forget me. And I told him when it was all done, I said, Kakraba, I owe you an apology. You know, I really respect you. And you know what he did? Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay. That's a good one. I was thinking that you were going to be like, your forget you moment was when you left that first lesson after drinking all that gin and be like,
Oh my gosh,
I
by
need to
the
get
end
home.
of the, no, by the
How
end
do I
of the
go
lesson,
home?
I was sober.
Okay.
That one was so strange.
That's cool. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's
Well,
something
you know,
to
well,
gin and this.
my dad's Native American, and we always have tobacco ceremony. And the first time I took a tobacco ceremony, I was a little kid. And I thought, ooh, tobacco, you know, that gives you cancer. And my dad took me aside and he said, no, you don't understand something. This is sacred tobacco. This isn't a Marlboro Light.
Right, with all the chemicals.
This is
and stuff.
sacred. So don't think that way. Okay, and I took the tobacco and I was okay.
It's pretty cool you have that connection to your history.
Oh yeah, I do
heritage
have a
like
lot.
that.
There's a lot of connections.
Now it makes sense why
between-
we're doing the Native American stuff later today. in the
Yeah,
concert.
because there's a
Cool.
connection.
Gotcha.
As a matter of fact, first time I went to Ghana, there was a member of the National Ministry of Culture. He had been to Santa Fe, and he said, "Where are you from?" "Colorado." "Oh, close to New Mexico?" "Yes, Santa Fe." He said, "You're gonna love it here because your Santa Fe and the town was named Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Your Santa Fe and our Laura, we are the same." And I
There
thought,
you go.
oh, how nice. He's trying to make me feel at home. But you know what? The vibe
Was there? I love that part of the country.
was the same.
I was living in West Texas, so just close to that part of the country for a long time.
It's
pretty
lovely.
cool. Pretty cool.
Well, it's you know a bit of West Africa.
A
Then.
little bit. I know the desert.
The vibe. Yeah, the desert.
You know, the cactus. Let's talk a little bit about SNL, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
You've been a part of that band for decades, like 30 years of live TV adrenaline. Be honest, who's more stressed, the musicians or the guests?
Definitely you mean the guest host?
Yes, the guest hosts.
That's a big question. Do you know the best guest hosts, the most comfortable guest hosts are athletes?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, probably because they're used to being under pressure, I guess.
I guess so. They're used to timing. They're used to saying, well, you know, I practice all this stuff and now I throw the ball or I go down the ski run.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be what it is. Some of the least comfortable guest hosts are movie actors.
Huh.
Because movie actors, you have to own your script. You go and you memorize everything.
Right.
You get into the character. And SNL is like you read it on a real cue card and then you throw it away and it's never done
That's it.
again.
Yeah, more like like that, but in the moment.
Yeah, it's
you know,
real. It's
versus
really,
like spending all your time to memorize your lines.
musicians, you know, like the guest bands, well, they're just doing what they do
Yeah.
on the road. We have a whole repertoire of about 990 songs. And some of them we've done
Oh,
many
that's
times.
it?
Some of them we haven't done too many times. Some of them are on the shelf,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. But our book has 990 songs, and you know we're pretty good at that.
Yeah, what's this?
And the other stuff that we do for singing cast members or singing guest hosts, again, it's just going to be what it is. And I just take a cue from the older ones and say, well, got to do our best. That's all we can do.
That's awesome. What are some thank you moments there, like for guest artists, like maybe that have guest musicians that asked you to play with them? And what are, once again,
Oh,
some
that's
forget
an
you
interesting-
moments? What are
yes.
some forget you moments? Or like maybe they made a call 2 minutes before you went live. You're like, not this again. Changing it up until the last minute.
Well, you know, that's interesting. I'm going to start with the forget
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
They often, if there is a monologue that has music in it, when the television audience and the in-house audience is watching the cold opening, more often than not, in our inner ears, we're getting, okay, bar 25, that becomes a safety. Cut bar 27 through 29. Skip letter B. Go to letter C. Okay, cut the first bar and repeat the second bar. All that stuff is going
Up until
on.
up until the
that
cold open.
moment.
That's crazy.
And you're like, your pencil is flying. But no one in the band has ever said, I've never seen anyone be annoyed. So I have to take that cue. I can't be annoyed.
Yeah.
They're not annoyed. Steve Torrey's not annoyed. Alex Foster's not annoyed. I can't be annoyed. The forget you moment, though, was the first, and I learned a lot from this moment. I was a new member of SNL. They added a percussionist.
That's right. That's right. Tell us. You can back up a
Story?
little bit. Yeah. Tell us the story you told us earlier about how you joined and how lucky you were to be in that situation.
I was so fortunate.
If you don't mind, I know we
I
talked
don't
about.
mind. The SNL Saturday Night Live had a probationary year from 95-96 season was a probationary season. And the network told told Lauren and the whole team, you have to get this together and lift it up or we're going to drop it. So every department started to say, well, what can we do to lift this show up? And within the band, they said, if we had a percussionist, you could see the music better. You could understand it better from a visual standpoint, and it is television. So Lenny, I'd played in a lot of Lenny's art bands. And he didn't tell me anything until the moment, because I asked him a long time later, why didn't you say something at the beginning of the summer? He said, I didn't want you to get your hopes up and then they'd change their mind, because we change our minds all the time.
Yeah.
So, great. I said, okay. But I was supposed to be on tour with David Byrne. I got fired from David Byrne, and I was devastated. I was like so depressed, so like, and my friends were, gathering around saying, no, man, one door closes, another door opens. I remember one friend, when I told him on the phone, he was literally at my apartment in 10 minutes saying, no, this is your time.
It's gotta be okay.
Yeah, put your head up and go. So Lenny called, left an answering machine message, and said...
Answering machine? What are those?
Yeah, what are those? I'm 103. And he said, we have been debating, because they cut the budget too, on top of that. So the line department is saying, you can't add a musician, we're cutting the budget, that's impossible. And they were saying, no, this is what we need. And he said, we've been going back and forth all summer, and finally yesterday we broke through. You are invited to the SNL band. However, he said, Barry, my husband, if you're listening to this message and Valerie's out of town, please call me back, because we're going to have to pass on her. I was in town.
You were in town.
Yeah.
Because there's something that crushed you, but there it was, like you said.
The forget you moment, they wanted to keep me. I was on probation for 3 weeks. In other words, they wanted to try me out.
Test run.
So I didn't know if I had a job yet. Cheryl Hardwick, who was the goddess of the SNL band, she could write. She was one of our directors, and they would, because she did so much amazing stuff, they would tell her, oh, Cheryl, this sketch, and it's Saturday, right? This could use some music. Can you write something? And she'd go, hot dogs, okay.
Hot dogs.
A hot dog, a hot... And she'd write, like right on the spot, she'd write something. Well, Cheryl said, because they said, oh, you're a mallet player, let's get a vibraphone. No, they're gonna kill that idea. Bringing a vibraphone onto the bandstand. No, that's too much trouble. Valerie, do you play Shekere? I did not play Shekere. I said, yes!
Yes, you do.
I play Shekere.
Yes, you do.
And the next call was to a Shekere master.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I have to learn Shekere.
Now.
Yeah, and she took me the next day, and I learned how to play Shekere in a very short time.
There you go.
So the first band shot of me was going to be me playing Shekere. And I was like, just learn this music, okay. So I'm like, it was a cover of the band.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's backup band, Life is Carnival. There was a big Shaker Ray part in there. So I'm like, yeah. Dress rehearsal is done.
Oh, I know where this is going. Oh no.
Cheryl comes out and says, "That was great. You looked great." I said to myself, I didn't say it to her, but I said to myself, this is music. Who cares what it looks like? You're telling me what it... But then I said, then I had to go home and think about that, because that was my biggest forget you moment,
Yeah.
probably of the whole
It's TV.
time I've ever
It's
been.
TV, baby. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I had to go home and think, you know, you see the music as well, especially if you're playing.
Absolutely.
mallet
Yeah.
instrument.
People hear with their eyes sometimes.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like they did all that practicing, contacted someone, and then like 5 seconds before they're like, hey,
Cut the
cut the Shaker Ray. You're like, what? You know, you lost 5 pounds in sweat. That would have. That's what I thought.
No, I
you were
play a
going.
lot of Shaker Ray
Okay.
in the
Yeah, you
SNL
do.
band now,
I've seen
so
you.
you know it's.
I see
it's
you up
all
there
good.
during the monologues. Like
It's
as
all
soon as
good.
they wrap up, there you go.
Whipping out some instrument of
There
some
you go.
kind.
Let's talk a little bit about the Wells-Rapp Center.
Love this place.
Yeah, this is you've been here a few times. This is gonna be your first. This is your first solo recital.
Yes,
here
it is. I
coming up
am
tonight.
so.
But you've performed here with Gordon Stout.
I
You've done
did.
several master classes in Coatesville's
Yes, yes.
campus, and it's a short little 2-hour drive from New York City.
Yeah, it's about 2.5. I brought Kakraba Lobi here twice.
No way.
It was so wonderful. He had my same reaction about the beautiful colors in October. He said, "Oh, wow!" I brought Bayarayotera here, and it was also in October, and he said, "America the Beautiful."
That's right, baby.
That's what they're talking about. America. This is America the Beautiful.
Especially in the autumn. When
Yes.
it's, the
It's
Appalachian
gorgeous.
colors back there.
Yeah.
On our second floor, that's my favorite view of this entire building up there. Oh, hey, Dr. Kumar, how are you? We got some guests in the balcony here today. But if you look out in front of the building, you can see kind of into the valley there with all those beautiful colors.
So beautiful.
I know.
So amazing.
There's a
so we're
planetarium in the way right now, but it's all right.
Yeah. We're so fortunate to have
Yeah.
this great center, and Dr. Kumar and his wonderful program.
Absolutely.
You know. Center's amazing.
What are some ideas you have for the center? What would you like to see happen here in the future? Because we're only about, year 3? And I should know that. What am I asking anyone on for? I should know that. But what are some things that get you excited about being in here?
I would love to see a world mallet. It is Mallet Percussion
It is
Research.
Mallet Percussion. We got a lot more in this.
I'd love to see a World Mallet Percussion Festival at some point.
Okay.
That would be great.
Writing
And
these ideas down.
I would love to see, and it's the most difficult thing in the world, but it's very time consuming, but to have the internet archives, to really work on that. Because that is where someone in Beijing or someone in Buenos Aires or someone, in central London can visit what comes out of here.
Absolutely. Could not agree more.
Yeah, I think that's a big...
Without getting too much into the rabbit hole, I am working very hard to get
I'm
that
sure
up and
you
running.
are.
It's a
I mean,
lot.
we work
It's
really
really
hard
cool.
just to get 9 minutes of music on.
Oh, absolutely. There's a
Traditional
lot of
music.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of red tape with a lot of the university laws,
Sure.
and things like that, and we're going through the right steps to make sure we're compliant with all the ADA regulations. But we have a vision, and we're pretty close. And
I'm so delighted because
it's going to be there.
Yeah, it always just opens up my heart when I can see someone, in Burkina Faso because they had a good camera and that they were able to share.
Absolutely. It's part of our core mission too, to disseminate not just the music, but some of the archival manuscripts, original pieces
Sure.
of music. We have several instruments on display that have been donated and actually owned by dignitaries like Claire Musser, we have Dave Samuels. I'm actually talking with Gary Burton right now. He's looking to make a donation as well, so that's pretty cool.
That's unimaginably great.
Yeah, when I walk in the morning and I get an email from Gary Burton at 8 a.m., sweet. How did I get
That's
this
a
job?
wonderful moment.
But this is up we want to share with the world, especially like you said, in today's day and age, it has to be available on the internet. And we're working hard for it. We're going to be there for sure.
Kudos.
All right. Lightning round, you ready? I'm going to say something, and you're going to say thank you or forget you. We'll go no thinking, no explanations until the end, okay? All right. Concerts where the audience claps on 1 and 3.
Thank you.
Drummers who discover mallets their senior year of college.
Forget you.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What about playing tambourine at 9/8?
Thank you. I love that.
Packing or unpacking your setup for SNL?
There's no unpacking, so thank you.
Vibraphone squeaking, pedal squeaking in mid-performance.
Thank you, because it reminds me of Lionel Hampton, who goes when he plays. If you check him out.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Those extra sounds.
Yeah, there you go. Real sounds. Yeah, real life. Being told to play softer by a conductor.
Thank you.
Oh.
Because the conductor plays the orchestra.
Okay. And hearing someone call the Gilles a xylophone.
Forget you.
Yeah, don't do that now. Valerie, you've done it all, from traditional music and African music to live TV, the PS Hall of Fame. You work at NYU, and there's school music down there, which is an entire city block, you were telling us. That's crazy.
Our building is city block, and all I do at NYU is West African song, dance, and percussion.
Wow.
I'm
Dream
so
job.
fortunate.
You're so blessed. And we're blessed to have you here. I think I can
Thank you.
firmly say you are a thank you type of person.
Aw.
And you're so sweet, and we can't wait for your amazing concert tonight, which will be featuring some of the KU students in our studio as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, Valerie Naranjo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shake your hand.
Yeah.